Coming up, a full guide to this year's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom. Disney presents Beyond the Kingdoms. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's main show of Beyond the Kingdoms. I'm your host David, and today I'm officially kicking off the Halloween season, and yes, I know it's still summer. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and click on the bell icon so that you never miss an episode. But let's not waste any more time and take a look at the 2018 Halloween party at the Magic Kingdom. As many of you know, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is a yearly event that takes place at the Magic Kingdom in the fall. This is a separate ticketed event, so if you're planning to be at the Magic Kingdom on the same day a party takes place, you will need an additional ticket to experience this event in the evening. Now, there are two main reasons why this experience is so special. First of all, you get to attend a fantastically themed party to celebrate the season of Halloween at the Magic Kingdom. But you also get to experience the park with a significantly lower number of people. This means that wait times for major attractions go down considerably. Altogether, the Halloween party this year will take place on 34 select nights between August 17th and October 31st. And it will feature over 20 special character meet and greet locations, 3 major entertainment offerings that are only available at the party, and over a dozen trick-or-treat stations filled with great candy. And that is just the beginning. This guide will be a complete look at everything you need to know before you attend the party. Most of the information in today's episode comes directly from Disney, or it's based off of my own personal experience and details from previous years. Keep in mind that Disney does hold out on releasing little details, and some things won't be confirmed until the first party actually takes place. A great example of that is characters. Disney never releases this information before the party starts. But today I'll give you a guide based off of last year's characters, and I will of course confirm all of these details and highlight any changes in my review video, which will come out later this month. So let's first look at what Disney has already confirmed as new for 2018. One pleasant surprise has to do with entry procedure. If you are a DVC member visiting the Magic Kingdom for the party only, you can enter the park at 2 p.m. That's a full 5 hours before the official start to the party at 7 p.m. Everyone else entering the Magic Kingdom with only a party ticket can still enter the park at 4 p.m. That's 3 hours before official party start time. I've always recommended to guests going to the party to enter as early as you can and before 7 o'clock. That way you can get the most amount of time out of your ticket. None of those special photo ops or candy trails will be open at 4, but this is a great time to experience some attractions before the party and for you to prep for the rest of the night. If you are entering at 4, make sure you walk through the Main Street bypass because you'll at least get to pick up a trick-or-treat bag, take a few party photos, and pick up some candy. This is the only location to get a taste of the party between 4 and 7. Now, if you have an annual pass or you have a day ticket on the same day as your party ticket, you can of course enter the Magic Kingdom at whatever time you want. And starting at 4 p.m., make sure you pick up a party wristband at one of the distribution areas. Last year, there were 3 wristband distribution stations spread out evenly throughout the park. One at Tortuga Tavern in Adventureland, a second at PhilharMagic in the heart of Fantasyland, and finally, one is usually located near the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor exit in Tomorrowland. Another pleasant surprise for 2018 is that Disney has stated there'll be a few enhancements at select attractions. This is something I've been really wanting them to do for quite some time now. Over in Adventureland, the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction will have a few live actors dotted around the ride. Apparently, they'll be roaming around the town looking for Gunpowder Pete. Now, don't get too excited because I don't think we're going to see Johnny Depp hiding in those show scenes. But this extra layer of live actors I think will be a whole lot of fun. Over in Fantasyland, the Mad Tea Party attraction will also get some new lighting enhancements. And finally, in Tomorrowland, Space Mountain will feature a new spooky soundtrack. Again, I don't think this is going to be a major overlay like Galaxy Ghost over at Disneyland, but again, I'll take any new additions. It should be said that these enhancements will not begin until official party start time at 7. Now, since we're talking about attractions, I just want to point out that there will be a few rides closed during the party, and some of these are to accommodate candy trails. Just to clarify, this is information coming directly from Disney. In Adventureland, both the Jungle Cruise and the Enchanted Tiki Room will be closed this year because those two locations have candy trails. In Frontierland, Thunder Mountain and Tom Sawyer Island will also be closed according to Disney. Thunder is a bit of a surprise to me, and it was closed last year because of a refurb happening. But this year there isn't a refurb taking place, so I'm not quite sure why this is going to be closed. I'm secretly hoping that's a misprint. In Liberty Square, the riverboat is currently undergoing a major refurbishment, so that will be closed along with the Hall of Presidents, but that is standard for the parties. In Fantasyland and Storybook Circus, all of the major attractions are open. The only exception is PhilharMagic, which last year was a fantastic candy trail. And finally, in Tomorrowland, like every year, both of the land's shows, the Carousel of Progress and the Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, will not be running during party hours. Now, every year, Disney releases a new Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom card, which guests can play during the party, although I do think that's a bit of a waste of time of your party ticket, but that's just my opinion. But if you are a fan of the game, make sure you stop by the fire station to pick up this year's party card featuring the infamous Orange Bird from Adventureland. And please note that you will have to show your wristband to pick up this card. And finally, we have some fun new mini entertainment for 2018 that I don't think any of us fans were expecting. First of all, Frontierland will host a special kids costume promenade. A special character will encourage little ones to show off their costumes for all to see, and they might just receive some extra candy. This will take place twice during the party at 8:50 p.m. and 10:50 p.m. And over in Storybook Circus, we are getting a whole new dance party this year. This new dance party will feature characters from Disney Junior. Disney has already stated that Doc McStuffins will in fact be there. And I'm also wondering if Disney Junior's latest popular character will also be joining the party. We will just have to wait and see. Now, this dance party is going to be slightly different to the Monsters, Inc. one in Tomorrowland because the Disney Junior party will take place from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. only, unlike Tomorrowland's dance party, which goes on all night from 7 p.m. to midnight. So that's a look at all the new additions to the party for 2018. I was hoping to get you guys details on this year's Magic Shot locations and specialty treats, but since Disney hasn't released that information yet, I will confirm those details in my review episode. But let's move on to one of my favorite offerings of the whole party, the major entertainment. This is not like the Christmas party, where some of the party offerings become a regular part of the day closer to Christmas Day. If you're a Halloween fan and want to see some of these special shows, then you definitely want to attend the party because it's your only chance to see it. The best entertainment offering at the party is the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular. If you're not into fireworks or the parade, and you want to spend most of the party meeting characters and riding rides, you should at least see this show at the end of the night. The Hocus Pocus show was first added to the party back in 2015, and it's based off of the hit movie that was released in theaters in 1993. The show has stayed almost exactly the same since it first premiered. the Sanderson sisters come to the Magic Kingdom and band together with some other Disney villains who help Winifred get some necessary ingredients to make her special party potion. That way she can cast a spell on everyone attending. Like the show previous to this one, this is a great chance to see all of your favorite Disney villains in one place, especially if you like Dr. Facilier and Oogie Boogie. These two don't have character meets anywhere in the park. It's your only shot to see them. And of course, who can resist singing along with the Sanderson sisters as they perform the film's hit song, I Put a Spell on You. I'll say it again, if you're going to catch only one special entertainment offering, this is the one to see. The Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular will take place 3 times a night, just like last year, and the performance times are almost exactly the same as 2017. This year, the show will take place at 8:30, 10:45, and midnight, the last being the least crowded performance of the 3. Next, we have the Cadaver Dance. This is a Halloween spin-off of the classic Dapper Dance. But instead of performing for guests in Main Street, these guys can be found in Frontierland. And they will sing spooky Disney songs such as Cruella de Vil and the Oogie Boogie song, but of course still in their classic barbershop quartet style. The Cadaver Dans will perform 5 times a night at the party at 7, 7:45, 8:30, 9:50, and 10:30. Now, who loves fireworks? If you do, you'll want to catch the Happy Hallowishes fireworks display over Cinderella Castle. Now, I will admit that this is nowhere near the level of pyrotechnics featured in the new Happily Ever After show. At least it hasn't been that way in previous years. But it is nice to be able to see fireworks at the Magic Kingdom with much smaller crowds. This is one of the rare times that you don't have to camp out for an hour just to get a good viewing spot for fireworks. The Happy Hallowishes fireworks display will take place only once during the party at 10:15 p.m. That's the same as last year. And finally, who can leave out the parade? After the Hocus Pocus show, this is my next favorite entertainment offering, especially since Magic Kingdom doesn't offer a nighttime parade at the moment. The Boo to You parade is a fantastic way to see a slew of characters dressed in Halloween costumes. And this is one of the entertainment offerings that has stayed almost exactly the same for years, with minor little changes. What I love about this parade are the 2 sections inspired by classic Disney attractions: Pirates of the Caribbean, and of course, the Haunted Mansion. No trip to the party is complete for me without watching the ballroom dancers parade down Main Street or the gravediggers dancing around with their shovels. The parade begins in Frontierland, adjacent to Splash Mountain, and makes its way to the hub before heading down Main Street. And you'll know when the parade is about to begin because you'll see the Headless Horseman charging down the path. That's another classic party tradition for me. The parade takes place twice during the party at 9:15 and 11:15. Again, the exact same thing as last year. If you want more tips on how to best view the parade and which performance you should attend, I will soon have my top 10 tips video for the Halloween party, which I think will be very helpful. And now we get to the details that will not be officially confirmed until the first party, but something that stays pretty consistent year after year. I like to add these details to this guide, especially for those attending the very first party. I know that some of you like to make a general plan of attack when it comes to candy, and most importantly, characters. So here we go. First of all, the trick-or-treat candy trails is the one feature of the Halloween party that makes it a slight step up from the Christmas party, in my opinion. Yes, you can get drinks and cookies at no additional cost at the Christmas party, but it has now become tradition for me to attend one of the first Halloween parties and stock up on so much candy that I'm set until October 31st. Last year, there were a grand total of 13 candy trails, and something that was really helpful was that a few more than usual were indoors, and this provided a great break. So let's go land by land to list all the candy trails from 2017. Over in Tomorrowland, you have the largest number of trails in one land. Last year, Disney utilized the now closed attraction Stitch's Great Escape to create a more elaborate indoor candy trail than most. Then of course you have trails at the entrance to Space Mountain and the entrance ramp into Carousel of Progress. The land's fourth and busiest candy trail is inside Cosmic Rays. Now into Fantasyland, where we have some of my favorite candy trails because these trails are very easy to loop around a few times to get that extra candy. The first is Pete's Silly Sideshow in Storybook Circus, my #1 favorite trail. New for last year was also Pinocchio's Village House, which is normally a quick service restaurant. And the land's third trail was inside Mickey's PhilharMagic. This proved to be very helpful last year because it was indoors, and after the candy, you could sit in the theater and watch the adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I experienced a lot of rain during the party last year, and this was a fantastic escape from the weather. Liberty Square usually only has one candy trail, and that is the landing area for the Liberty Square riverboat. This one's been around for years, so I don't think any changes will happen there. And in Frontierland, there are two trails that are probably the least crowded because these are in a quieter corner of the park. There's usually one trail near the entrance to Splash Mountain, and a second at the Tom Sawyer Island raft landing. And then we have Adventureland, another great land for candy, just like Fantasyland. The entrance of Pirates of the Caribbean is another great trail that you can loop around multiple times for candy. And another favorite of mine is inside the Enchanted Tiki Room. This trail usually has 2 stop points for candy, and again, you can sit and relax inside if you need a break. And then for the last trail in this land, we have the one that I think is the most crowded of them all, and that's at the entrance to the Jungle Cruise. With all of the great characters in this area, I find this particular corner of the park to get very congested. So that's a recap of last year's candy trail locations. Like I said, I'll confirm these locations in my review episode later this month. And if you want to learn how allergy-friendly candy works, click on the icon at the top right-hand corner now. There's a separate yet very easy process to getting allergy-friendly candy. And now we're at the section that everyone loves the most, characters. I know that a lot of Disney fans who regularly attend the parties use this opportunity to meet rare characters. This is also a great chance to dress up as your favorite character and take a photo with them. I always tell guests that before you plan your itinerary for the party, consider what costume you will be wearing. And make sure you plan to meet the appropriate character early on in the night to get that great photo. Again, my top 10 tips video is a great place to learn more on how to best create a plan of attack. Like the candy trails, I'm going to recap the characters from last year so that those attending the first party have an idea of what to expect. And I also want to point out that even though the party officially starts at 7, some of the most popular characters are known to come out a little early. Last year, I saw both Seven Dwarfs and Jack and Sally coming out to take pictures around 6:30 p.m. Another great reason to get to the party early. And remember, you can always ask a cast member nearby these locations to confirm who is coming out and at what time. Let's start off in Main Street, USA. These two character meets are not rare, but they're still worth mentioning. Over in Town Square, guests can meet Tinkerbell all day and during the party. If she is someone you want to meet and you're only attending the party, she could be a good quick meet and greet to do right as you enter the park at 4. That's if you're not heading to one of the more popular characters. Then of course next door you have Mickey Mouse. Now this one is tricky because even though Mickey meets guests all day, he usually switches into his Halloween costume right at the party start time. And some of Disney's promotional pictures seem to suggest that Mickey may have a new costume this year. This is just speculation on my part, and we shall see. Now let's travel into Adventureland. The one new character for 2017 was Moana. She proved to be very popular with guests, and many fans began lining up for her well before 6 p.m. Last year, she was positioned near the exit of Swiss Family Treehouse. Also in Adventureland, you'll find several characters from Aladdin. Last year, there was a bit of a change-up for this. There was one line dedicated exclusively to meet Jafar, right by the Zanzibar Trading Company. Then at Agrabah Bazaar, where Aladdin and Jasmine usually meet during the day, characters rotated throughout the night. Guests would either get to meet Aladdin and Abu together, or Genie and Jasmine together. This is one location where you want to double check what's going on with a cast member. At the entrance into Adventureland and across Sunshine Tree Terrace, you could meet Tarzan, Turk, and Jane, all together in one photo. And of course, pirate fans can meet Jack Sparrow at the Pirate Tutorial stage. Oddly, back in 2017, there were no characters in Frontierland, but I wouldn't be surprised if a few country bears will be roaming around like they do at the Christmas party. So let's jump next door into Liberty Square. This is where you'll find one of the most popular character meet and greet locations of the whole party, and that's to meet Jack and Sally from Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas, who are located at the Liberty Square gazebo. This is one of the 2 character meet and greets that if you're hoping to do, you should line up for straight away, because the wait time for these 2 can easily hit 2 hours. If you don't get there early enough, you can also try your luck at the end of the night, when the line tends to die down a little bit. There's also an unofficial character meet on the lawn in front of the Haunted Mansion. Every year, Madame Carlotta sits on her bench and heckles at guests waiting in line to ride the attraction. You can take pictures somewhat in front of her, but since she is up on the lawn, you can't necessarily stand next to her. So I don't know if you want to count that as a character meet and greet. Now let's head to Fantasyland, which has the most character opportunities. First of all, Princess Fairy Tale Hall stays open all throughout the party. And usually it's just like it is during the daytime hours. In one line, you'll have Cinderella and Elena, and the second will feature Tiana and Rapunzel. Several years back, each princess could be seen with her appropriate villain, but that hasn't happened for a while now, but I am holding out for the day that they bring that one back. Now across the way and roaming around the entrance to PhilharMagic, you may encounter Drizella and Anastasia from Cinderella. This one is very on and off, so again, check with a cast member nearby. Now sticking to princesses, let's travel into New Fantasyland. Last year, Belle and Gaston could be found together near Gaston's Tavern. Just like how Gaston meets guests during the day when he is solo. I want to point out that at this character meet, Belle is usually in her blue dress. And also new last year, Ariel and Eric were meeting guests together near Prince Eric's Village Market. In 2017, Ariel was in her grotto in her mermaid form during the day. And then, once the party started, she was outside of the grotto with Eric in human form. This one seemed to go very unnoticed with guests last year, and she had probably the shortest waits of them all. Now, one really cute character meet that's been around for years actually features 4 in 1, and that's by Winnie the Pooh. This is where you'll find Pooh and Tigger usually during the day meeting guests. And at the party, you usually get to see Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore all in their Halloween costumes together. That's a great photo op. Then across the way by Mad Tea Party, 2017 had another little change up. There were 2 separate lines to meet characters from Alice in Wonderland. In one line, you could meet the Queen of Hearts along with Tweedledee and Tweedledum together. And the second line featured Alice along with the White Rabbit. This is one of those times that the split actually did help the wait times go down. Next up, we have Storybook Circus, which I like to refer to as the party hotspot. I think guests really underestimate how much action happens back in this corner of the park. And with the new dance party this year, I'm curious if the character meet and greets will move around a little bit. But again, let's recap last year. The party's most popular character meet is here in Storybook Circus. Under the tent next to Pete's Silly Sideshow, guests will usually get to meet all of the 7 dwarfs together in one fantastic photo opportunity. If you're planning to meet these guys, 100% I recommend you enter the park at 4 o'clock and head straight there and line up. Last year they came out around 6:15 to start taking pictures, so it's a good way to start your night. Then next door at the Fantasyland train station, you may find Cruella de Vil, usually a much shorter wait time than other characters here. Then again, last year we saw the introduction of splitting some lines up, specifically to meet some classic characters. In 2017, we had Goofy dressed in a pirate costume in between the Barnstormer and Dumbo. Then, at Casey Jr. Splash and Soak, there were 2 separate lines. One to meet Minnie all by herself in her witch costume, and the second line to meet Donald and Daisy together. And they were dressed as a knight and a princess. I'm very curious if this new dance party will be located right in this section, which means that these guys may have to move around. We shall see. Then finally, we have Tomorrowland, which surprisingly only had 1 character meet and greet last year, and that was Lotso from Toy Story. And he was located where Buzz Lightyear usually meets guests during the day, nearby Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. So there you have it, my friends, all of the characters that you might find at the party, and my full guide to this year's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom. I am absolutely sure that there's going to be a lot to add to this, so keep your eyes open for additional Halloween party videos. And this year, I hope to try all of the specialty treats and report back with a full dessert review. If you're attending the party this year, I hope you have a magical time. It's my favorite event at Magic Kingdom, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun. And until next time, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.